Um, okay. Welcome to welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Well, that is so strange. Where in the heck is my background? There we go. This happened the other day, didn't it? Where it just um wow. Okay. I ain't tripping, but I know I didn't leave it like this. So let me go back to bubble. And let me go back to that. Okay, I'm getting very good at putting it back, but I know darn well I didn't leave it like that. Right? So how it shifted, we'll never know. Lydia Washington, thank you so much for being here first. Okay. Oh, the slides. Yeah, that confused me so much I forgot about the slides. So let me grab the slides and we're good to go. And by the way, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. One less bell to answer, one less egg to fry. Okay. Okay. Slides are on the way. Hmm. Very, very strange. Let's see who else is here. Church Nelly, Miss Z, Fancy Fancy, Veronica Quick, Beverly Jackson, Vaughn, Carolyn Minter, Joya Moore. All right. And did I miss someone? Plus size fairy. Joseph Berno. It's been a minute, right? Marcia Ware. Okay. There we go. War and Peace. That's what it's turning into. War and Peace. Um, those two seem to be at war, and the other two are trying to enjoy their peace. Not that there isn't other members of the family of the left behind royals that are at war. Let us not forget about oh, what's that dodgy looking one? Camilla. I don't think Camilla's been out and about much lately. I mean, she has, but you know, not not so much, I think. And also, I have not really collected many images of Camilla as of late. You know, I always look for that just perfect image of some of the individuals in this family, like that one where Camilla foiled a robbery on the tube. Do you remember that? When someone tried to rob her on the tube and she was able to foil the robbery. I mean, look at the poor guy. He didn't stand a chance. And there he was, flat, splat, and stuck like that. Yeah. Camilla, uh, well, I guess she learned a few things over the years, hanging out at bars and sleazy dives and such. And I mean, let's face it, she's the only woman in the royal family that I know of that can crack open a beer with her teeth. She comes in very handy at the Royal Ascot. It's like, hey, Camilla. You know what I mean? That comes in. That's a neat party trick. There's not one single party that she's ever been invited to where she would disappoint. Camilla always delivers. A matter of fact, there are many gentlemen back in the day that would testify to that. And then, of course, like I said, you don't really know Camilla. I've had to take a deep dive. I didn't know she was also an airline hostess, just like Kate's mother. Maybe that's why there's the animosity. I mean, if you recall, she was the oldest flight attendant in captivity. I mean, she's so old that the pin that she wore in her lapel came from the spirit of St. Louis. uh, yes, her lapel pin came from the spirit of St. Louis. That's how old she is. And, well, Charles Lindbergh would prefer people didn't know that there was anyone else on the flight. He prefers to, that people believe that it was anonymous. So I know you guys are not going to tell anybody. So, and I'm certainly not. But yeah. But otherwise, Camilla has been at war with Kate and Charles with William. So I think they're very evenly matched. Of course, if you had to figure out who was the most devious of the set, hands down, it would have to be Camilla, followed by, you know what, an honorary mention, only because she's not a senior royal, but Kate's mama. Kate's mama. An unparalleled level of devious behavior. So, yes, she's not a royal, but if she were, she would fit in quite nicely. Um, yeah, but otherwise, they are quite evenly matched, I think. Yeah, quite evenly matched. Let the storm clouds gather. Anyway, so we're going to discuss War and Peace. Where was I? Oh, by the way, you guys, sad news today. Assata Shakur has passed away at age 78 in Havana, Cuba, according to Cuba's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Shakur was a prominent political activist known for her involvement with the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army. In 1973, Shakur was convicted of killing a New Jersey state trooper during a shootout. She maintained her innocence, and in 1979, Shakur escaped from prison and claimed asylum in Cuba, where she remained until her death of health conditions related to her advanced age. So, if you guys didn't know, that's Tupac's mama. That is Tupac's mama. Tupac Shakur's mama. Or is it? Oh, no, it's not. Am I getting carried away? No, I don't think she is. His mama is somebody else. Yeah, sorry about that. I think that's his aunt, right? Yeah, I think that's his aunt. His grandmother? Oh, okay, his grandmother. Wow. Well, my goodness, his mom and his grandma was very close in age. Well, let's see. It says here, Tupac's mother, Afeni Shakur, once took on the New York Police Department as a Black Panther in 1970. Wow, everybody's rough and tumble in that family. Before dying on May 2nd, 2016, Afeni Shakur was a political activist who took on the New York Police Department while facing a 350-year sentence and pregnant with Tupac. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we got that straightened out. All right. Let's go on then. Uh Project Healthy Minds Gala 2025, World Mental Health Day. That is coming up. And check it out, Humanitarian of the Year Award, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, co founders, Archwell Foundation. A lot coming up for the Sussexes. And you know what? I think they added something to Kate's calendar upon the news of all of these things going on for the Sussexes. So, World Mental Health Day Festival is coming up. And check it out, the 2025 lineup, as I shared yesterday: Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Hopefully, you all have had an opportunity to see those very quick bios that I actually took the biographies that were listed here and I created shorts on the YouTube for your pleasure. So that was fun and quick and easy to make. Um, I rather enjoyed it. All right. Meghan Sussex gives rare peek inside her cozy Montecito living room and hints at something new. Well, what might that be, pray tell? Well, let me see. The Duchess of Sussex shared a look inside of the California home, showcasing a new home decor piece featuring her as ever logo. Now that is exciting. It looks like the Duchess of Sussex is working on some merch. Yes, she's working on some merch. As a matter of fact, wasn't there a song? Merch, 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 merch. Gotta get some merch, 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 merch. I want to buy that merch, 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 merch. Yes, gotta get that merch. Or as they say in the South, how much does that cost? How much? Listen, my father was from the South, so I aside from knowing how to cook a mess or something, I also know how to use those colorful colloquiums, which by themselves are rather innocent, but when you put them together, they can be a lot of fun. So let's go to the video, shall we? And then we'll discuss it on the other side. Over there, over there. It's not over till it's over there. Um, unprepared, unprepared. I can't find that little video, unprepared. It's not like I didn't know this was coming. I didn't know this was coming. What the heck is that darn video? I almost used the F bomb. Okay, well, maybe it wasn't that important. Or was it? Um, okay, how did I label it? I probably didn't know I mean, so oh, I know. I know. I know I never did send it in the first place. Okay. This shan't but take but a moment. Um hmm, okay. Okay, so you all ready? Here goes. Oh Lord, it was there already. That's okay. Now we have it twice. Here goes. Oh, take a look there and you can see that beautiful vase of us. And look, you can just barely see it, but there is the logo. There is the logo. You can just barely see it, but the logo is right there. Right? That is the As Ever logo. Yes. How beautiful, right? And look at Mama Mia is knocked out. Mama Mia looked like she been working third shift. She stopped and got an Italian beef sandwich on the way home. Went and got some scratch offs, and now she laid out. Wow. Now, I want to say that has a dual purpose. Not only can you use that for your flowers, but it seemed to me like you could chill some wine inside of that, right? Like it has a dual purpose. You can chill some wine or you could use it for your flowers. Kavan Slim says, I saw Kinsey Schofield say she can't believe Meghan walked away from the royal family. What Kinsey don't understand is that she will never marry a royal, not even Andrew, that sick old man, will have her. Oh, well, you know what? Not to go there, but in that York family, there's enough people with weird eyes. You know what I mean? And Kenzie Schofield with them bizarre peepers she has, she could only add to the confusion. So, yeah, there's enough people in that family whose eyes are kind of all over the place. So, what if there's someone driving on a rural road and Kinsey and a couple of those other Yorks are in the car? They could cause someone to go flying into a ditch or something like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you, Kavan. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, they got that weird eye thing going on. Don't need two of those in one household or three. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that one. Also, after hearing Legs on the show, I'm glad I'm not the only dude in the comments section. There you go. Yes, there's a handful of y'all. Thank you very much for again for the super chat. And oh gosh, I forgot what the number is in the demographics, but do know there are some people who almost never, if ever, comment. So but I can think of a few, even though the names are a struggle for me. But yeah, there's some other guys. But thank you so much for being here. Greatly, greatly appreciate the super chats. And Carolyn Mentor, you just became a member. Congratulations. Thank you so much for becoming a member of Royal Sussex. All right. And of course, we need to celebrate that. Okay, we heard you the first time. Very cool. Thank you so much. Uh-huh. All right, let me take that away and we'll continue. So, take a look here. Flowers are having a moment in the global spotlight thanks to the newly released second season of With Love, Megan on Netflix. Apparently, there's a lot of people that have given us some traffic to this shop, and not just this one, but many others. You know, it seemed like such a small thing, right? Buying flowers for oneself. I do that all the time, especially if they're on sale. Especially if they're on sale. And one of my favorite things is to get them home, put them in a vase, and then walk away. And then next time you walk past that vase, it's like, wow, they have opened up. They have brought the sunshine inside of a house. So that's one of my favorite things is to like watch the flowers kind of take off once when you get them home, you want to give it a nice angle cut as close to the bottom as possible. Or if you need to shorten the stem, then of course you want to go up higher, but cut it on an angle and put that little mix in the water and stir it and everything. And, you know, just stick them down in there and you can watch those flowers flourish. So that is a beautiful thing. So, yeah, um, I think another person who had that kind of impact, of course, the talk show queen, Oprah Winfrey. I can't tell you how many things I purchased because of Oprah. So, yeah, I could see quite easily how people were moved to go shopping for flowers after watching With Love Meghan. Meghan is a powerful influencer. So, yeah, very cool. Do something nice for yourself. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to travel for miles and all that kind of stuff. There's some very simple, small things that you can do that can make a huge difference in your life. Okay. Now there's a nice close up. Look at there. What a great place to work, I bet. You know, everything is just the right pace. You're surrounded by beautiful things all day. Now, I bet you it's cold as who knows what inside of that space. So, yeah, you better take something warm because you may have periods of time where you're in a very cool space. But wow, what a nice way to earn a living. And take a look there. Society of American Florists is the trade association for the floral industry. We love flowers and the people who grow, sell, and buy them. Yeah, there you go. They triangulate the resources you can grow, sell, and buy. And next, I talked about this yesterday. Meghan Sussex offered radio show after revealing love for Magic FM. Yes, Magic FM. And of course, we found out, according to Tan France, that that is the old people's station. And of course, Megan says, well, I like it. Whatever it is, I like it. Young or old, that is my music. So, yeah, I was going to play a little sound for that yesterday, and somehow I let it slip my mind, but let's do that now.
Our radio is so good. Magic. Honestly, one of the things I miss the most about the UK is the radio station. Our radio is so good. Magic. Magic FM? Wow. Sorry to say this to you publicly, but that's such a grandma station. Honestly, one of the things I miss the most about the UK is the radio station. Our radio is so good. Magic. Magic FM? Wow. Sorry to say this to you publicly, but that's such a grandma station. Honestly, one of the things I miss the most.
Okay, it was a very short one, but yeah, so I meant to play that for you yesterday and totally forgot. So there you can see that little exchange. After she revealed one of the things I miss the most about the UK is the radio station Magic FM. Boss Paul, what is that? Paul Sylvester tells a radio center event the offer is on the table. If the Duchess wants to host a show, she's very welcome. I'm sure she is. I bet that would be so relaxing to like if you're driving a long distance and Megan is like hosting a radio show because her voice is very comfortable to listen to. Very soothing. So yeah, I could see that she would be a huge hit for Magic FM. Kavan says Magic FM knew what they were doing. They got hella free from PR from Megan. Yes, they did. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, I think it was Queen Latifah who said in the hit musical Chicago, man, you can't buy this kind of publicity. Yep, you cannot buy that kind of publicity. So I think that's pretty cool. By the way, I don't want to jump off the topic too far, but did anyone see that lawyer that was discussing the merits of that lawsuit against Tyler Perry? I was starting to think that that wasn't going anywhere, and I think I was right. I think I was right. But anyway, we'll have to have a discussion about that one of these days. Oh, you saw it, Church Nelly? Okay, so Magic FM is owned by Bauer Media, the second biggest radio group in the UK, which also owns Hit Radio and Greatest Hits. We love that Meghan is a big fan of the station, says Sylvester in a statement to The Guardian. We've been in with her team and offered her a show if she ever wanted one. Cool and the gang. Now, take a look here. William spends father and son time together in Balmoral for third year in a row. So this is the third time that Willie Leaks has traveled up north to Balmoral to spend time with his father, the king. His father is now the king. She said the trip was not derised with senior staff, but set aside to chat as sovereign and heir. Kate is thought to have stayed at home in Windsor with the children. The heir to the throne was photographed stepping off a private jet at Aberdeen Airport before getting into a waiting Range Rover after taking a flight from Liverpool. William had earlier been showing his support for the family of the girls killed in the Southport attack as he visited their school with Princess of Wales. Charles and William will have plenty on the agenda to discuss, not least after Prince Harry's trip to the UK earlier this month, which saw him meet with the king. So, don't know how long he was up there, but he did go north. And you know what? That's a good thing. I can't help but think that's a good thing because, after all, the man is being paid 23 million pounds a year. He ought to do something. Now, let me see. Working with families and young people to prioritize safety online has been some of the most meaningful. I think this is out of order. As parents ourselves, we have been moved to action by the power of their stories and are honored to support them. We are proud to be longtime partners of Project Healthy Minds. Okay, I think this should have gone either sooner or later. Sorry about that. As we work together to shine a light on what remains one of the most pressing issues of our time, Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Okay. No. Okay. Yes, you know what? When I moved everything from the other group of slides to this one, I think I put something out of order, but hopefully we're back on track with this one. So Stassi Schroeder is no longer a fan of Duchess Meghan after she didn't get a PR gift box. And what's the deal? Now listen, I don't know anything about this person, but I tell you what, I know enough now that I don't really care for her. She seems kind of, oh, I don't know, shady. Yes, she seems a mite shady. And I will tell you why. So Stassi Schroeder has turned her back on Meghan Markle after the former was left out of the latter recent as oh, let me go over here. This is bigger. I can look on my other screen here. Okay. Ooh, that's so much better. Okay, left out of the latter's recent as ever PR gifting. I have literally defended her when no one else did. The Vanderpump Rules star shared on her episode of Stasi podcast early this month. Okay, so she has a podcast. And what better way to bring attention to your miserable podcast than to mention Meghan Sussex? Now it's all coming together, isn't it? Anyway, I have defended her when no one else did. The Vanderpool star shared on her miserable, tawdry episode of her Stasi podcast earlier this month. I have filmed videos about it. I've commented on all the things. I literally had my effing PR reach out. Schroeder, 37, claims that Markle might not take her seriously because of her background in reality television. This is so silly. Meghan has given out gift boxes to content creators and podcasters. What is she talking about? What a silly person she is. The way she moves through social media, I think that she's stuck in. I don't know. I think she's stuck in 2017, and she just thinks I'm a lowly reality person. Now, y'all know this is BS. The TV personality alleged that what I think I am furious. Yeah, what I think and I am furious. And this ain't hardly no better. And this is the last straw. I'm not watching her show anymore. She added, referring to the Suits alums Netflix series With Love, Meghan. I'm not going to talk about her anymore. I'm going to unfollow her right now. Done, Schroeder said. She's just trying to get attention for her podcast. This ain't got nothing to do with Meghan. Nothing. She's playing victim to get attention. The Bravo star also called out Meghan for sending PR boxes to the toast of podcast hosts Claudia Oshry and Jackie Oshry, who have questioned her. Well, maybe she just don't like you. Oh, you know what? You know what I think this has to do with? Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is clearly for attention. Aside from the fact that she's in dire need of an audience, Stassi Schroeder addresses racial misconduct. It's my fault that I didn't educate myself. Wow. Now, I didn't know anything about her, but let's take a deep dive into this. Disgraced reality star Stassi Schroeder is profiting off her racism and blaming cancel culture, of course. Huh. Is that right? So, the same person who allegedly is profiting off of her racism and blaming cancel culture is also trying to use, allegedly, her coercion and influence, possibly allegedly, to try to shame the as ever team to send her a box. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. I think this is someone who needs attention and is trying to take a shortcut by invoking the name Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. Why does this happen time and time again? They just throw Meghan's name into stuff that has nothing, I repeat, nothing whatsoever to do with her. It is just too easy. It's lazy. It's intellectually lazy. This is someone, rather than try to create a compelling and entertaining podcast, she would rather take a cheap and easy route by trying to pull Meghan's name into it. I'm pretty sure Meghan has barely remembered that she exists, let alone wants to be bothered with her. I mean, could you imagine if someone said, yeah, Your Highness, Stassi Schroeder is on the line. Who? Stassi Schroeder. Do what? Stassi Schroeder. Yeah. You should get some antibiotics for that. No, I don't have Stassi Schroeder. I said there's a Okay. That's fine. Take the rest of the day off if you need to. And please stop telling me about your scrotum. No. You see how confusing that is? Who the hell would know what they're talking about? That sounds like something you can cure with a triple antibacterial ointment. Seriously. There's nothing about a Stassi Schroeder that you couldn't cure with a proper salve. So anyway, I shouldn't make fun of her name. It's bad enough her podcast is in the toilet. Let's see here. Kavan Slim says Morgan, Stasi, and Muzzy all claim Meghan dumped them as friends, yet Meghan is still friends with Spencer Martin, etc., etc. Well, I don't know who that is, but thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that Meghan is friends with, but there is this. I think that maybe the tabloids instill this idea. Why don't you tell us that? No, they'll say you've met Meghan before, right? Wasn't she your friend? Wink, wink. Did she dump you like she dumped everybody else when she met Prince Harry? Wink, wink. You see what I'm saying? It's too easy. It's too easy. And in certain circles, I'm sure there are people who know that this pretense is a convenient way to make some quick cash. Now, I think that the only image of Meghan and this Stasi person was an afternoon where they just happened to be in the same something and they went bike riding. And from there, this poor creature thought she was Meghan's good girlfriend. If any of these people were actually close to our Duchess, don't you know that there would be a string of images that they could share? And that goes for that Liz Cundy, the one who said Meghan only popped in and out of the children's hospital for 5 minutes, even though she was a guest of honor at the president's table and so on, right? It doesn't cost him anything to lie. It doesn't cost him anything to make up stuff. On the contrary, they're actually making money. They're making money. And they all make money until their eyelashes fall out. And once those eyelashes go, next thing you know, they'll be trying to hustle their wares on some third-rate news program somewhere. So it's all such a sordid tale. But thank you, Kavan Slims. And Leg says, clout chasers, the entitlement. Girl, bye. Thank you, Legs. Yes, it's all so clear now. It really is all so clear. It's abundantly clear that there was no type of relationship between them. This person said a couple of things about Meghan and feels entitled to some guest or friend pack or whatever promotional what do you call it, I guess the ones that they give to the journalists. So yeah, what do they call it, a PR pack? She feels entitled to a PR pack. And as Notorious JBT said, there's plenty of us who have defended the Duchess of Sussex from sunup to sundown, and we don't feel any more entitled to one of those PR packs than the man on the moon. You will get your blessings when you get your blessings. You don't know where they're coming from, but you don't use coercion like that. That is absolutely silly. It's desperate. Sometimes I search for the words. I'm not sure how to spell it out. Sometimes I just want to.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Yeah, that's it. Took the words right out of my mouth. Sit down. Have several seats. Oh. Oh, what did I miss here? Oh, let me see here. Leg says, true Sussex fans don't expect anything from them. And Kavan Slim says, I meant Abigail Spencer and Daniel Martin. Thank you very much for that. Lex says she helped spread the fake Lily rumors. Yes, I heard that. Thank you very much, Lex. I heard that too. So I don't feel like I'm a victim of cancel culture. People want me to be mad at all. Mad is it? It should be mad and all, right? Oh no, mad at it. Okay, I get it. Okay, people want me to be mad at it, and I am not. I needed it. I needed that. Stassi Schroeder. Huh. Okay. If you say so, girl. She was actually on Tamron Hall trying to explain herself. Now, I'm going to play a little sound from Tamron Hall. Stassi Schroeder. Troublemaker. You know, had she acted with greater integrity, she might have actually done something with herself. Okay, now, where did I leave off here? Okay, I think this is it. Let me try this one.
I was that Karen. I was a Karen. I was a Karen.
Uh-oh, that sounds terrible. Let me try it again.
I was that Karen. I was a.
Oh, wow, that is horrible. Why does it? It's like two sounds coming out at once.
I was that Karen. I was. Time since she was fired from band.
Okay, that is horrible. Let me try something else here. we paused for technical oh, that almost came out wrong. We paused for technical difficulties.
I was that Karen.
Oh, okay. It is actually the video, but that's okay.
We're back live in New York. It's a relevant part of pop culture, impacting the way a lot of people see each other, actually. I do want to bring you back in, Stassi. You're live from LA here. And clearly, being live, I'm sure some of your team members have looked at social media to see how this is playing. My team has looked at it. There are people who don't buy what you're saying. And I don't gauge it by that. I gauge it by the answer. I know you've hired a diversity person to work with you to kind of understand. I'm not convinced you fully understand how much of an impact you could have had on Faith's life, the ramifications of all of this on her life as a human being, as a Black woman.
I believe what Tamron Hall is speaking of is that Faith Stowers was accused of theft.
I do absolutely understand. I've spent the last 3 months, yes, working with a teacher and learning about everything, and there was so much that I didn't know. Like I didn't understand that just because something wasn't about race for me doesn't mean it's not about race for the other person, because I'm bringing my experience as a white privileged woman to this situation, and she's bringing her experience as a Black woman into this situation. And because it's about race for her, it is about race, and that's something that I've realized.
You grew up in New Orleans, a pretty diverse city. You lived a large part of your adult life in LA, a city that people would describe as somewhat woke on some days. I don't understand a person your age not seeing and knowing. Let me zero in on it. The Nazi chic photo. We're not able to show that photo because there's a discrepancy over who owns it. It was deleted from social media. Was that posted on your social? Did you take the picture? Is it your picture? Do you own that photo?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So it's your photo, but we, through your team, were unable to show it because I think, honestly, you don't want to see it again because it is so hurtful. But it says in the caption, because I've seen it, Nazi chic. What is chic about Nazi?
Nothing at all. And it was, I'm so embarrassed. I've been embarrassed about that for 3 years. It was a poor joke amongst me and my friends, and it was so wrong. And again, I have spent my life as a privileged person, and it is my fault. I have to say this, that I had not educated myself before. It's absolutely my fault that I didn't know better. But the issue is I did not know better.
So you didn't know that Nazi, like, to post something, you know, that seemed to mock, or, you know, the fact that millions of Jews were killed in the Holocaust and suddenly an outfit is a Nazi. You didn't know that? You grew up in a big city. You live in LA. I'm surprised that you wouldn't know that.
Well, I didn't. And it's not that I didn't. Obviously, you know, I know all of the history, but I was so used to making jokes at other people's expenses, and
had
never.
You made race jokes before like that?
I'm not sure, like Nazi chic.
But about Black people, about Latinos, have you ever made any other racial jokes with your friends that you recall?
I mean, the Nazi chic was a joke because I looked like that in the outfit that I was wearing, and it.
You know, it's like her name has taken on a whole nother meaning all of a sudden. It says, oh, okay.
I'm like really sick of everyone making everything about race. I'm kind of
over it. You added everyone giving their impassioned speeches about race and all of that stuff. I'm like, why is it always just about African Americans? Wow.
Yes, wow is right, and I have to say I've been wanting to talk about this podcast more. Obstacles that Black people face every single day. I look back on that podcast and I am so embarrassed that I even had those thoughts, much less put it out there, because I was that Karen. I was a Karen. I was a Karen who basically said, but what about all lives matter?
Right, because I guess I'm again going back to your history here, being in a big city like New Orleans and LA. I am shocked, and don't take this as an insult, by your level of ignorance as it relates to race and what it means to say Nazi chic to Jewish people, and what it meant to Faith in her life. I do a show, and it's my second season. I have to be honest. You know how many times someone has said, why is Tamron Hall's virtual audience almost all Black? When it's diverse people who are in our virtual audience. Our audience is diverse. I've had to hear these people who question it. If my show is too Black, with very few people question if another show is too white, and you don't understand, being in Hollywood and auditioning, why diversity on both ends of the spectrum matter. I'm truly perplexed
Tamron,
by that.
I do, but I do understand now.
Yeah, you understand.
And I truly do. And I've been wanting to talk about this podcast, because I would never. I now know how to speak for Black Lives Matter.
How do you know that? I think that's an overreach. I don't know if
you. You know what? I made a meme a little while ago. It's an old saying, and I'm going to share it in this instance, because I know she won't be able to see it, but I'm going to share it anyway. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. I wanted to get to the part where where they mention exactly what happened with her and Faith, because and that's the one that was messing up.
to speak to it. But I think you can empathize.
Speak to it.
Okay.
Speak for it.
We're back a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that is totally messing up. But yeah, this girl she's a little clueless. I just feel like she doesn't really mean the apology, and that's why it doesn't sound right. But Meghan's team, and I'm pretty sure it's up to Meghan's team. Meghan's team did not send her anything, and she probably was nowhere on any kind of list in the first place. So whatever she feels that she's missing out on, yeah. Yeah. So let me try to do this. I want to know exactly why she got in trouble with Faith. Is it Stowers? And I may have to try some other source for that. Let me try this one.
Oh Lord, they saying, Faith, can you talk about Stassi and LVP racism? Ooh Lord, girl, that's that girl.
Oh Lord, that's just a whole bunch of captions. All right, it looks like this is not working out for me. So Oh, listen to Detective Stassi Schroeder try to ruin Faith Stower's life. Okay.
I just said, and gracias madre.
Gracias, madre.
Well done.
And somebody texts Kristen and says, "Hey, do you know this girl Faith Stowers? She stole my credit. She was out and stole my credit card." I'm like, I know because her friend came to me and admitted it. They were at the Roosevelt, and Kristen's like, "Yeah." And then Kristen goes, "Oh my God, wait," hung up the phone. She goes, "Stassi, I saw this article on like the Daily Mail or something, national. It was like a national news thing about a woman who stole like $300,000 worth of money and watches and stuff, like drugged two dudes at a club in LA, in West Hollywood or something." And she goes, let me just bring that up. It's like her intuition was just like, what? Going nuts. And I go, Kristen, she brings up the article. I'm like, that is 100% Faith. Like, they had like video like footage stills of her walking in someplace. And so then I'm like, we have to be sure. So we like read every article. It says she has tattoos on her, like.
Okay, I think I've heard enough. Now, I don't know how I missed this whole thing, but now you hear why she got in trouble. It wasn't just that other stuff. That's what I was really trying to get to. My goodness, that seems like a gross stereotype. No wonder the caption for this video, it says, "Listen how Detective Stassi Schroeder tried to ruin Faith Stower's life." Now, again, I'm going to have to throw a big alleged in there because I am new to the whole thing and what I was trying to share just wasn't working out. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. Listen, there's the name on the screen there. Do your own detective work. If you really want to get down to that story, because I don't have enough time to unravel it right now, but I am definitely going to go poke around and look when I'm done, because this is very shady. Let's see. Vaughn says, as Jasmine Crockett would say, tell the bad built, butch body, bleach blonde, bad built, butch body to have a seat. You aren't box of Jiffy popcorn and Boone's Farm wine. Well, thank you very much for that. Oh man, thank you very much. I love that. Thank you, Vaughn. Wow. So that's what happened. Hey, John Garcia. I had no idea. How did I miss all of that? How did I miss all that? Let me see. I'm trying to look at your comments to see if any of you all knew anything about this. Anybody? Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, so that is really messy. Well, thanks. That's why I said I don't really have time to get into the whole thing because I'm totally new to it. And I definitely don't want to go off in the wrong direction. Yes. Wow. She didn't come out the other side of the world, huh? Wow. Okay. Well, y'all gonna be the only ones to hear that one because I'm done with that. It seemed like I'm not. It's from like 5 years ago, so I don't think I'm going to talk about it again, but just know that this messy reality show person is the one who is now trying to work Meghan into a conversation about a press pack that she didn't receive. And from the looks of it, it appears as though she didn't deserve it. So, that's how it is, though. That's how it is. For someone at Meghan's level, you have a lot of people claiming an association just because they talked to you one afternoon, or just because in Liz Cundy's case, just because she did a red carpet interview with Meghan and Meghan was pleasant to her. And for some reason, Liz thinks that she and Meghan, or at least she pretends that she and Meghan were the best of friends. The same with hog-head Piers Morgan. And whenever it suits them, they love to throw her name into it. This is wrong on so many levels. That is just totally wrong. And they get away with it. She's behaving like Piers Morgan. He never met Meghan, but he wants his 15 minutes of fame. He and Liz Cundy are trying to make their living off of slagging on Meghan vultures. Yes. And I don't know who that was that said it, but it was one of the squatties. I take no credit for this revelation. If indeed there was ever paths crossed between the Duchess of Sussex and hog-head Piers Morgan, where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Where is the picture? Because there's no way Piers Morgan was going to allow Meghan to step away from him without some kind of photo. He kept showing that photo where he was standing across the room near Queen Elizabeth, just to show people that he was actually in her presence. Yeah, you know what? Y'all ought to give Queen Elizabeth some credit for the people who do not, I repeat, who have not been photographed with her. Most of the royal rota do not have images with Queen Elizabeth. With the rest of that riffraff family, sure, but they do not have a photo of Queen Elizabeth looking into the lens of a camera while they're standing there next to her. It does not exist for most of them. She had enough sense to stay clear of them. Oh, well, that was interesting. I never want to see that again. So if not receiving a PR box stops her from supporting Meghan, she was never a fan to begin with. The influencers who did get boxes would have bought the products anyway because they are genuine fans. Having your PR reach out is just tacky. Another one here says Schroeder once posted a picture of her daughter on Instagram and made a joke that her daughter's name was Lilibet. Actual name Hartford. That's her daughter's name, Hartford, and was a princess. Since then, the Derangers have been obsessed with the idea that Meghan and Harry don't actually have a daughter, but have borrowed, stolen, used Schroeder's daughter. It is full insanity, and Schroeder should know that despite denying this, it is still a regular Deranger talking point. So, hush. Now, that's the one that I was looking for. I've never heard this before. I have to say this is all alleged because I do not know it to be true. But some of the squatties are of the opinion that one of the things that fueled the whole no children baby moon bump thing was a tweet from this person. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. I have not seen the tweet where I can verify it. So until otherwise, I just cannot say that that is true because I don't know. Oh, that's how the whole thing about the kids not coming from Meghan's body started. Wow. Yep. That was one of the things that was kind of bouncing around out there. Let me see. Haven't read the article, Stassi girl. You should have just shut up and bought your crap online like the rest of us. Because once the Sussex Squad detectives get on the case, not that I condone online flaming, but but hey, the internet never forgets. Wow. Make of that what you will. And then someone else says, great way to tell us that you're devoted to your devotion, that is transactional without telling us your devotion is transactional. Exactly. To me, this person sounds like she's using the scoundrel's time old way of getting famous by saying something negative about Meghan, and then they preface it by saying something like, I like Meghan, but to cover their bad behavior. I like Meghan, but there's a but coming out of your mouth. Joan Garcia says, Baron, those women are too dumb to realize the more they bash and attack Meghan, the more inventions and accolades she gets. They can stay mad. I'm sorry, invitation, not inventions. Invitations and accolades she get. Thank you very much, Joan Garcia. Thank you for the super chat and for being a member. Let me see. I wondered for the longest why the derangers kept saying our Lily was Stassi's child. That heifer knew exactly what she was doing. She's an undercover deranger. Wow. I mean, I never knew where that came from. And of course, there's an excellent chance that the same as with Michelle Obama and the same as with others, this is like a tradition amongst I guess haters, online haters and trolls. It's a tradition, especially where a woman of color is concerned, that you deny that they could ever possibly have given birth to a child. Accused him of being a man. Like Brigitte Macron. Whatever anybody thinks of Brigitte Macron, I saw that video where Brigitte was walking along a line of athletes. And the way that a couple of those athletes were just studying her face and looking at her up and down as though she was covered in cow dung or something like that. That was very painful. That was very painful to see how these athletes were staring at her. Now, I know she's had a very colorful life, and some people would say that for other reasons, she may actually very well deserve to be singled out like that. But it's offensive to the children. It's not just what you're doing to the parents, but to the children. That is very hurtful where the children are concerned. And for that reason, it just should not happen. To accuse to go to war against a child, to try and convince the world that those are not the parents of the child. I could not imagine what it would be like in grade school and to have some rumor like that floating around. That's got to be very painful. And even with Harry and the whole thing about Charles is not his father, that lie was designed to hurt him. By trying to get at Diana, what they successfully have done is injured Harry, who did not deserve that. No child deserves that. These people are sick. Going after a kid, targeting a child. I mean, they've already gone after Lily, contesting the right to name her Lilibet. And they have the nerves to say, Harry and Meghan just did not give it enough time. Yes, they did. They gave it too much time, and it was time to go. It was not going to get any better. I was so disgusted with Tom Sykes when I saw him on this one little chat thing, someone's podcast, and he, knowing everything he knows, he is of the belief that the Sussexes have such a horrible life now. He would rather they are tethered to the throne, tethered to the crown, that they walk around on an invisible lead. I think anybody would rather sell jam and spreads than to have to be subject to what's going on over there. Which, of course, by the way, selling wine, selling spreads, selling jams, or anything else you sell, cookies, puts you right on par with King Charles. Puts you right on par with Queen Elizabeth. If you've ever been to any of those gift shops, Charles doesn't make that stuff. It's outsourced. Oy vey. And here I thought it was going to be a happy Rosh Hashanah. I was wrong. Let's see. Leg says, basically, failing podcasts like Meghan McCain and Kelly Osbourne, what did they do? Slag off Meghan to hope their numbers improve. Hate baiting, pathetic. Thank you, Legs. I couldn't have put it better. I could not have put it better. That's exactly what it is. Could you imagine being a punching bag for the entire nation, Royal Rhoda and the British royal family? They want you to stay around to be tortured, and you are supposed to be grateful. Wow, those people need a life. Tom Sykes, who is a brilliant writer. I'm listening to this man say the generic line that they left too soon. They should have stuck it out as if it was going to get any better. They know what William is like, especially Tom Sykes, especially Tina Brown. They know what this man is like, and they know what he's capable of. And they would dare say that Harry should have stayed with his wife until she was driven to the brink or just left, that he should have stayed with his children. That is insane. And you already know what that family is like. You know what they're capable of. Diana was driven away from that family and died mysteriously in a tunnel in Paris. And they just threw a bunch of stuff together, and that's supposed to satisfy everybody. Well, it doesn't. It does not. It left more questions than it answered. And armed with that knowledge, you would dare say, keep your wife and your children here so that they're subject to every whim of the above mentioned. Right. Yesterday was Daughter Day, National Daughter Day. And I know it's not a British thing, but the gruesome twosome. Question is, who's the mother and who's the daughter? I can't tell. Uh-huh. Good luck, Kate. You're going to need it. Oh, ooh. Did y'all hear about this? Did you all hear about this? There was some finger wagging. Looks like they're in the Marine One helicopter. And it appears as though there was a bit of finger wagging. In case you can't tell, that is the first spouse. I can't bring myself to use the L word. That is the first spouse. Yes, that's her. And that is the Orange Menace. Now, there's a video, and at a certain point, you can see that she had her hands, had at least one of those hands that she was gesturing with. She gestured with an open hand, and he gestured with a finger. What the F was that about? Lord. What is the world coming to? I cannot be sure. Well, she's not the only one that had a finger wagging in her face on camera, which is another excellent reason to leave from that place. Because if you stay long enough, this happens. Yeah, if you stick around long enough, everybody feel like they can just put their hand in your face. Everybody. It becomes like a national pastime. It becomes a national pastime.
Stars. Sit down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it becomes a national pastime. Everybody's shutting you down. Oh well. Now, this is from, I think it was last year. Israelis react, that is, with a mix of indifference and irritation to a rare political intervention from, guess who? Yes, from the global statesman himself, Prince William, calling for an end to the fighting in Gaza. And boy, did they make him feel small. Make peace with your brother. Israelis shrug off Prince William's ceasefire plea. And that wasn't enough because all of a sudden the press turned against him. This is nothing new, the press turning against William. All he has to do is say something stupid or do something stupid. Like right here, Calamity William and the courtiers who won't say no, the real reason work shy Prince keeps blundering from one public relation gaffe to another. Now, stick a pin in that. Remember, William never puts a foot wrong. Kate never puts a foot wrong. They have made mistakes left, right, and center. They are quite mistake prone, gaffes, if you will. And that was just one of them. Now, how that happened, I have no idea. Some people say that number 10 set him up. Number 10 asked for that statement to go out. And others say, nope, wasn't number 10. It was Kensington Palace. Well, whoever it was, that was stupid. And this is just a couple of things. They were all over him like a cheap suit. They were all over him like a cheap suit, telling him to focus on his charities and shut up talking about anything to do with foreign policy and national affairs and such. Stay out of it, Prince. Oh, okay. I got this one. This one is, let me see. Caller Samantha says, very ironic that William is experiencing backlash from right-wing media outlets for his calls to end the fighting in Gaza. Okay, let me hook you up with that one. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay.
Prince Harry, who had...
Oh, Lord. Okay, this is 1 minute.
Wasn't it Prince Harry who had taken those very companies or, media outlets to court and had won? He had essentially won, these trials against them. So it's very, very ironic is now that his brother is speaking up, and his brother now might he might be getting a taste of his own medicine because he was told be wary of these outlets and so forth and the other by his own brother Prince Harry. The documentary.
No, he sided with the newspapers against his brother. I think that's a matter of record, but yeah. out of an impulse for self-protection that is pretty hard to argue with. So that's really interesting. The Mail, it's not the force it was, and we probably talk about it too much on this program, but that's why they have to put words into his mouth, because they can't attack what he said. So they have to tell their readers that he hasn't actually said what he said. He said something else.
Wasn't it?
Okay. So, yeah, they quickly, as I always say, circle the wagons and lend protection to William. They always have to protect him. William is gaffe prone. And trust me when I say this, he is not smart. He is not a very intelligent person. For someone who majored in geography, he seems to know so little about the world we live in. For someone who will be king to blurt out, oh gosh, where were they at that day? I think they were at the Ukrainian Center, where he said it was so odd that there is war in Europe. You expect that in Africa and Asia, but not in Europe. As though World War II never happened. The war to end all wars. The first mechanized war, with the repeat firing gun, the first one where there were mass casualties, as far as I know, I believe it was the Civil War here in the United States. Okay? And that was what? The 1860s. by time World War I came around, they had perfected the ability to create mass casualties. It was perfected. It caught everybody off guard. All of those lords and such that went off to Europe, thinking that their superior breeding and the fact that they have brought their valet with them, that they were really going to go and be the next Napoleon Bonaparte. They were going to be the next, give me a name. Okay, Napoleon is fine. They were going to be the next Admiral Nelson, only for them to come back in bits and pieces. Okay? William should know these things. He's going to be king. And he wasn't a kid when he said that. He is so woefully unprepared, unfit for purpose. Remember how quick his PR people backtracked on ending the war in Gaza. They are always trying to straddle the fence so that they can write the history for themselves where it would seem favorable. Yes, and the video, which I recall, there was a video. It was kind of hard to hear it. But the reporter, oh my gosh, wasn't that Richard Palmer? It was a seasoned journalist that quoted him. And whatever video they had, that disappeared. But he said it. And then if it was Richard Palmer, they made him go back and change it. This is why they don't like the Sussex squad. This is why they can't stand us. Because of receipts. They can't stand us. Because of the receipts. And gosh, I wish we could get some more people trained over on the TikTok. Oh, that would just be epic. But I could understand it's probably not a lot of interest for, some of the younger people. But for those that do get it, boy, howdy, they get it. But you see how that just rolled out? See how Leg said that? I threw a little something in there. Hazel comes and back it up. Everybody got a little something to add to it. That's why they can't stand us. Because we got the receipts. I got so many thises and that's and so on and so forth. Sometimes I'm not even looking for it. And I'm like, oh, I could use that today. Now, the bad thing is it takes me a month of Sundays, but I'm actually, I'm a little embarrassed to tell you how much I put into a video. Sometimes you wouldn't believe. And when I'm thinking, okay, that's enough, then I'll find something else. But it's fun for me, so I'm not complaining. It is fun. But yeah. William is the gift that just keeps giving. And trust me, there are some courtiers over there that are about to crap their pants the minute Charles goes down in that storm cellar. If Charles goes down into that storm cellar over at the St. George Chapel and William finds himself suddenly the sovereign, I'm not saying that it's all going to circle the drain that same night, but it's not going to last that long. It's not going to be what it was. It's going to be reinvented by William for the sake of doing something. And if you think slim down monarchy was a mistake, wait until Willie leaks get in there. I'm telling you, that man is as dumb as the day is long. He is not smart. He is unfit. And the only person that's about as incapable as he is is the one that he's married to. Together, they are a hot mess. And I think they deserve each other, and I cannot wait. Well, I mean, I'm not rushing Charles. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. Oh, let's do this. I haven't done this one for a while, but let's do this one for the hell of it.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it does more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time, and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it does more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So
What's with the jazz hands? What's with the jazz hands? Huh? What is with the jazz hands? Well, we can only give you a little smile and a wave. I feel like I'm looking at Al Jolson or something. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm looking at Al Jolson. Oh, I do. I feel like I'm looking at Al Jolson for some reason. With them hands going like that. I won't say the name of the song it looks like he's singing, but yeah. Wow! Yes. Let's see. Baron, is a case of being born with a silver foot in his mouth. Yes. Okay. And what was her name? The governor of Texas. Poor George. He couldn't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. Oh my goodness. Ann Richards. That's her name. Ann Richards. Poor George. He couldn't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. That was the funniest thing. That was when I think she ran against Papa Bush. Was it Papa Bush or was it the younger Bush? One of those George Bushes. She was like, poor George. He couldn't help it. He was born with a silver foot in his mouth. And the crowd screamed. Ann Richards was I loved her. She was like the best governor Texas ever had. And I'm not just saying that because she was a Democrat, although that's a big part of it. I'm saying it because she was a riot. She was a riot. She may have been a Texan, but she was definitely a woman of the world. She had interests all over the place. Oh, is that why they're doing that? Yeah. Well, that explains the hand motion. It's like casting a spell. Got it. Got it. Oh, well. Let's see here. I'm delighted to use that move. Okay, I cannot see that. And one more time. Oh, let me try the other screen here. Oh, boy. Where did I leave off? Oh, there we go. I'm delighted to see that more people are waking up and starting to recognize the deception. The downfall of the royal family will be remarkable. They still have some time to free themselves from the media's grasp. Harry has done really well for himself. And the next one says William conspired with media to target Harry and Meghan. That's not self-protection. It is predation. William, what is that? William something Knopf is that sicked off on Meghan to thwart the Daily Mail case. He launched a bullying investigation against her. Byline Time implicated Williams' staff, Christian Jones, in cash for leaks. Prince William is dangerous. And of course, one of my favorites, Sussex Soldier, says William is a traitor and nothing more. And this move is not going to end well for him. And I'm all for it. Okay, thank you very much. Simon Black, let's see here. Baron and Legs, just checking. Are we going to have you two talking tonight? Last week was epic. I replayed it twice. Oh, really? No, I'm afraid not. As I'm trying to get myself on a proper schedule, and because I promised someone that I'm gonna go shopping with them Sunday, so I got to get myself on the proper track. Otherwise, my sleep is everywhere. But gosh, I would love to do that again because I want to take a deep dive on the what do you call those people? The Welleses. I want to take another deep dive on them. And I also have been aching to go through the Where's Kate stuff one more time just to see how it relates to today. Is there anything that happened then that is relevant now? So, and this is why I try to explain to some of the people that I can understand that people get a little cross because they're like, I get talking about that other stuff, but the Sussexes are doing this, and this today. Can't we just talk about that? No, because there's some of us that want to gossip and drag those people. I enjoy it. It is like a big soap opera, and exposing their BS does give me pleasure. Do I hate any of those people? No, I don't hate any of them. I don't like how they do and how they've been, and but I don't hate any of them. But when it's time to drag them, I'm all over them like a cheap suit. So, yeah, that's what some of us want. And I tell you, those days when we do that, sometimes there's like 700 people that are here for the whole thing. So as long as that's the case, then I think it's the right call. If it was only 10 people, it's still the right call because there's some of us that likes to share these thoughts. And it's part of our community. So I lost a few people that did not like that thing, and I respect them for their opinion, but their opinion had got to be rather disruptive when you could just simply switch it off, and that was the problem. But yeah, so I'm just saying it just so there's no surprises. I don't care if the Sussexes are going to Mars and back. We're still going to have our fun with those other people. If I had to sit here and talk to myself, let's see. No, you know what? It's not a big shopping expedition like that, but my sleep patterns are wicked. My sleep patterns are wicked. You would think that at like 2:30 in the morning, I'm like, okay, good night, nurse. No, I wish that was the case, but I'll start prepping for the next day or catching up on something I wanted to see. And next thing you know, it's that much later. And then, of course, there's a few people that are night owls like myself. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should have called earlier. And then I say, no, better to call when they just drifted off to sleep so that way I can do the maximum amount of damage. And uh yeah, so that's I guess having been a club person, I just know a lot of people that keep weird hours like myself. But yeah, but cheers. Thank you so much for your comment. Yes, here, here. Here, here. What's that? I'm telling Pedal on you these late night morning podcast. I know. And I miss Pedal. I really miss Pedal. I mean, I've given Pedal the glory many a times because one of the reasons why I really make sure that I research and stuff like that is because I watch Pedal and I'm just like, wow, I want to be able to do that, where I could just kind of rattle some of that stuff off without digging around for it. So, yeah, Pedal definitely caused me to work much harder. Yeah, Pedal is a firebrand. You just I love Pedal. Pedal just don't care. She don't take prisoners, and I could just imagine some of the world leaders. Pedal's like the kind of person who could make a cop cry. Yeah, Pedal could make a cop cry. That's why I love Pedal so much. She will have a cop I don't care how big a cop he is. By the time she get through naming and shaming him, he's gonna need counseling. Yeah, he's gonna have to take a leave of absence by the time Pedal get through shaming him. Right? Right? Absolutely. Um, Princess Kate displays subtle compassion with carefully curated new look. Well, that's real interesting. She's wearing the pussy bow and she looks like she should be ringing a school bell. But I always find myself fascinated with that way she kind of cocks her head to the side. It reminds me of that RCA what was that, a beagle? That RCA dog, the way he is it Skipper or Skippy or something like that? Kind of reminds me of that. And is she puzzled? Is she thinking? Is that what she do when she's in deep thought? Does she understand the conversation? Is she trying to find a way to break into the conversation? Yeah. I've always I don't know. Once you see it, then you cannot unsee it. TCC son, thank you so much for stopping by. You going to sleep? Well, thank you for being here. And then I realized that throughout the animal kingdom and some characters from horror movies, it is a common trait. Yeah. Owls do it. Chuckies do it. Cats do it. Feet do it. And I guess if I keep looking, I'm going to start doing it. I mean, but she ain't hurting nobody. I mean, everybody's got a thing, you know what I'm saying? And her thing her thing is that thing. So, and it goes back quite a ways. I've even taken the time to illustrate how easy it is to slip into that thing. Like 1 minute you're reasonably leveled, and the next thing you know, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Your head starts drifting. It starts listing like the Lusitania. When they sunk the Lusitania, it started listing to one side, right? And I guess that's not anything that's the reserve of ships or boats or stuff. I guess people can do that too. So yeah. But if you have any thoughts about that, share your thoughts. I just could not help but notice that, and I was just curious. Is there anyone who understands what's going on here? I find it interesting. So, yeah. Now you see in the middle she's straightened up, but I guess I think when she's trying to get a word in, or when she's not sure what the conversation is, then that head start listing to one side like that. And boy, thank you so much for the super sticker. But yeah, I just maybe if they, there's a technology that they use on skyscrapers where they put a dampener close to the top. So maybe up under a couple of them wigs, they could put like a weight, put like a little weight up there, or something to dampen it so that her head don't start listing to one side. That's what they use for those superstructures. They also use them on boats. Have you seen that commercial where they tell, it's like a smaller boat, of course, and they tell people on either side to see if you can make it shift, and it couldn't because there's a counterweight. So I figured since she's wearing them big wigs, she can easily conceal something like a 5-pound weight under that wig, and that will keep her from shifting like that. So, and then it was interesting because that place where they had the waxwork, apparently one of the visitors realized that the waxwork did not resemble Kate, and so they kind of twisted. They took it upon themselves to just kind of twist it so that, now it looks just like her. But before, I wasn't sure who that was. Anne Margaret? Gloria Swanson? I couldn't tell. But now it is right on the money. Of course, they're going to have to get a bigger wig because she's, William has entered his global statesman era, and Kate has entered her wig era. So whoever is making these wax figures, you're going to have to get one of those red boxes for William because he's in his global statesman era. And for Kate, they're just going to have to get some bigger hair, or just sew a couple of wigs, maybe 3 wigs together, and you'll have it. See what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about either. But it's just okay. Let me explain it to you like this. Remember the Last Supper? One of the things that Kate does when she's doing those round tables, because she's unable to speak in front of a group, when she does those round tables, she usually kind of sit there so that she can invoke, you know, that kind of Jesus thing by tilting her head to one side. See there? But not to be blasphemous, she goes right instead of left. Because if she went left, it would be blaspheme. But if she goes right, then she won't have trouble with the church. I think that's why she did that. So now you got to figure out is who's got the 30 pieces of silver. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. It's just it's like a little tick. It's a little habit that she has, like a little tick where she just kind of, start listing to one side like that. It's okay. We're all God's cheering. We're all God's cheering. The Sussexes, I love this picture of them. I changed the background of the image. I kind of lifted it and put like that plain background, got rid of them people. But I love this. This was at the United Nations. Prince Harry would love to spend more time in UK. Duke wants to visit every few months. Insider. Yes, insider. Insider reveal, but questions remain over where he'll stay and how he'll avoid Wills and Kate. Well, first of all, who cares about Wills and Kate? He don't want to spend no time with them. They are likely to rent a home. As a matter of fact, I think one of the safest things that they could do is to stay in a luxury hotel. You know how the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, I know we don't really want to associate them with those two, but hear me out. The Duke and Duchess of Windsor, they maintained an apartment at the Waldorf Astoria. That way you get all of the services without having to maintain a staff, right? There's a great restaurant. You can do your dry cleaning, all of that stuff. So if there's a place like that in one of the nicer communities, or just, rent a flat as needed, someplace secure. But as for the royal properties, I think that if they stay at a quality hotel, they could have security, right? But of course, you're not going to live there with those kids, right? The kids don't need to be in a situation like that. So as the kids get older, if they spend more time, then of course they will. I think it would really be necessary to get a house. But as for this thing right here, Kensington Palace, I am very certain that Harry does not ever want to see that place again. I'm sure it is full of bad memories. We want privacy and your money. We want privacy and your money. We want privacy and your money. And then at that point, he rips her arm off. William spent father and son time together, Balmoral third year. Okay, we did that already. Oh, I think I got that twice. Never mind. 54 minutes, Clarence House. Okay, that was about Harry. Some fear malign forces are trying to drive a wedge between the king and his heir. Here's the truth. That's from Rebecca English. You see those very big, like truck driver hands? You see those hands look like they go on a longshoreman or something? Those are like the hands of a like someone who takes in laundry. Yes, those hands that look like they belong to um someone who takes in other people's laundry. That is actually Rebecca English. We call her Cookie Monster, but that's Rebecca English. You can see she got those big hands, look like she could just ball up her fist and club somebody and fracture their vertebrae. That's how you could tell it's Rebecca English. She got them kind of hands. A bowling ball looks like a tennis ball in her hands, right? No, a bowling ball looks like a pool, like she just took it off a pool table because her hands are so big, right? So if you hold it, it's like you're holding a pumpkin or something. But if you hand it off to her, then it's like a cue ball or a 8 ball or something like that, because her hands are so large. Perfect for writing crap about things that never happened and quoting people who didn't actually say stuff. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, that's what I did before I came on. I made myself a cup of coffee. Yes, thank you very much for that. Very kind. As a matter of fact, you guys, that's the person that one day I had went to the mailbox, just minding my business, wasn't bothering nobody. And I went in there and they started sliding all these boxes out. I said, "That's mine?" They said, "Yeah. You got I think it was like 3 or 4 boxes. 2 I think they're 27-inch screens and a keyboard, an ergonomic mouse, and the thing that you mount the screens on. I mean, my setup is so professional. I don't know. I would have just been like squinting my eyes and straining. I would have probably never thought to do this myself, but that was the most amazing thing. I couldn't wait to get it set up. Now that was truly on time. Because if you remember, I had that bigger computer and it just kind of went out on me. And yeah, it's so slow I can't do anything with it. But I loved it because it had that big screen. Well, now I got 2 big screens and the laptop. So you always hear me say, "Ooh, I got to close some of these screens." That's because I got stuff everywhere. But it's so much easier to work when you can just glance over. And then I got like a little system I use. So thank you very much for that. Because I'm telling you, unless I'm away from home, I use this every day. Every day. It's the gift that keeps giving. So thank you. Yeah, see, sometimes, and for guys, one thing about guys, at least some guys, I'm one of those guys. Certain things I would just struggle through it and never, try to adapt the situation. I mean, some things I'm on it, and when it's for other people, I'm like, oh, I can think of the most amazing stuff. But for myself, for some reason, I just don't give myself that consideration, which I'm trying to do better. But yeah, sometimes I think more about other people and don't give myself that consideration. So we can only work harder to take better care of ourselves, right? Okay. Okay, what the heck is all of that? I don't think I need these because I think we covered that already. Someone, yeah, the drive the wedge. That's that Rebecca English article. I did that 2 days ago, I think. So yeah, we don't need to do that one. And this is another one. We've done this already. I thought the perfect background for Charles and his heir is a bunch of big rusty chains. Some big rusty, really very unuseful, big rusty chains. Yeah, because as Harry said, they're trapped. They're trapped and they don't even know it. So King Charles and Prince William's relationship stronger than ever despite tensions. How is that possible? How is that possible? Prince William still reeling over being blindsided by Harry's move with Charles. King Charles and Prince Harry had a catch up over tea apparently Prince William is still spiraling over it, which is not a good look for the future king. In other words, he's being totally childish, right? He's being extra because he was cut out of the loop, and deliberately so. The more I think about this, the more I believe that Charles, I hate to say this, but I think Charles was kind of using Harry to get to William, to put a little fire under William to get him to do work. I shouldn't think Harry was in on it, but I shouldn't think that he's all that upset either, because he knows how his father is, and he knows that even if his father is not part of it, someone in his camp was going to get something out of it. That is almost a certainty. Charles needs as much good publicity as he can get. So surely Harry, in all likelihood, knows that going over there, Charles is going to make sure that it benefits him before anyone else. Okay? But it is the cost of doing business. It really is the cost of doing business. I won't say it's the worst thing in the world, so long as the Clarence house doesn't leak and brief, which of course is exactly what they did. They started briefing while Harry was still driving away, saying that what was that they said? Something about Harry better not say anything, and if something, then we know he's the one that told it. The thing is, they were the ones that briefed first by saying that. Do they not understand that they just briefed the tabloids? Oh God, these people give me gas. Do they know that they were the first ones to leak? By saying Harry bet not leak, you just leaked. You just leaked. There are no leaks in Montecito, but you just leaked by saying Harry bet not leak. Or does it not count when they do it? And then here's another contradiction. Duke blasts dad after court defeat, slams royals but wants reconciliation. King frustrated at lack of respect. Harry lost it. Okay. And then you go over here. Formal greeting, an exchange of kisses and gifts, but still no way back. That sounds like a briefing to me. So they're mad because Harry expressed his feelings But there's still no way back. The only way they know that is if they leaked it or briefed, which doesn't matter because Harry said he ain't going back. Harry does not want to come back. But to make them seem strong and decisive, they just going to throw it out there anyway. He's not welcome to come back. Well, damn it, he said he didn't. Did you miss the part where he said no? Where he didn't even hesitate? He said no. Did you miss that? I didn't. He said no. Charles and William's Scottish mini break can't hide the monarchy's deepest rift. The palace insists father and son are bonding in Balmoral. In reality, Charles and William remain publicly split over Andrew, Harry, and the very future of the monarchy. Now, that, of course, is Tom Sykes again. Tom Sykes is not letting it go. Tina Brown is not going to backtrack. Both reporters are of the opinion that there is a rift between father and son, even if nobody else says it. We see them together. We have all the evidence that they are not talking. Now, going up to Balmoral, I'm sure that was a formality. Maybe they needed his signature for something, but they're not close. And they haven't been for a long time.
Between Charles and William, I mean, they do not like each other. No, there is real tension between Charles and William. I mean, they do not like each other. They are not on the same page when it comes to how the country should be run. No, there is real tension between Charles and William. I mean, they do not like each other. They are not on the same page when it comes to how the country should be run.
Okay, Tom Sykes, can you repeat that one more time?
No, there is real tension between Charles and William. I mean, they do not like each other. They are not on the same page when it comes to how the country should be run. No, there is real tension between.
As Tom Sykes says, there is real tension between father and son. They do not get along. They cannot agree on anything. As was it Tina Brown or was it Tom Sykes who said, and we all know this to be true, William does not recognize authority, not even his father's. A long time ago, I said on several occasions, and I remember this because I still feel the same way right now, that Kensington Palace was William's kingdom. William was the highest ranking family member at Kensington Palace. And that is why it was such a treacherous place for the Sussexes. Because if you were hired for Harry and Meghan, you almost certainly was hired for Will and Kate. When they hired Christian Jones, they said that he was going to work with the Sussexes. And then further down the article, it mentioned also Will and Kate. And the same with Jason Knopf. He was supposed to be there for Harry and Meghan. But eventually, it was revealed that he was also there for Will and Kate. There was really few, if any, people that worked for the Sussexes. So this is why I repeated over and over again that Kensington Palace was William's kingdom. And I could not trust William, and no one could trust William not to put those courtiers on the spot. Could you imagine working for the royal family and you're supposed to be loyal to, let's say, Harry and Meghan? And then they start putting pressure on you to explain every detail of what Harry and Meghan has planned. And then at that point, and I'm making this scenario up as we speak, but I've felt this way for a long time. And then, of course, whatever they planned, by the time Will gets an earful, then they go to the Sussexes and say, hey, you can't do that. Hey, you can't do that. And then, of course, it gets carried over to Buckingham Palace while the Queen was alive. And then, of course, Buckingham Palace would have to get involved. And I bet you that wasn't just some things that the Sussexes planned. I'm sure it was almost everything was an uphill battle. And that is why when Tom Sykes says out of his mouth, they should have just stayed, I don't know how that would have been possible. I wasn't even there, and I could tell you almost with certainty that that's exactly what happened. Hence the reason that they had to separate the households, because there is a pecking order. There is a ranking system. And William and Kate would always want the best possible outcome. If that means suppressing the Sussexes or delaying them or antagonizing them, I'm more than certain that that's exactly what happened, because William is petty. And I'm so disappointed that Tom Sykes, among others, does this pretense that they could have stayed. They say that to hurt the Sussexes. Not that it's reasonable, but that it's hurtful. That it makes them seem ungrateful. That it makes them appear indecisive. It does not matter that Harry said time and time again, I don't want it. None of us do. That doesn't matter. That they can create another opportunity to bash the Sussexes and make them seem like horrible people. And the man that you're looking at on the screen, Tom Sykes, as brilliant as his writing is, he's no better than the rest of them. Oh, you're talking about a whole different kind of pecking, huh? Are you speaking of the pulled pork sandwich? Is that what we're speaking of? The pulled pork sandwich pecking order? Where one goes to a country that they've rarely ever visited, ever, and they find themselves in a bistro that just happens to be frequented by the LGBTQ community. And without effort, one seems to have already committed the menu to memory. I'll have the pulled pork sandwich. I bet you will, won't you? Of course you do. And it's not the first one you And it's not the first one that you've ever had. I have it on good authority that that is not your first time enjoying a pulled pork sandwich. You've probably had many of them over the years. Many, many pulled pork sandwiches. Anyway, Charles is currently less irritated with Harry than William. Tina Brown claims tensions are brewing over heir to the throne workload as she reveals why King feels subtly criticized by his older son. So it's not enough that William doesn't listen to Charles, that he does not really yield to Charles' authority as the sovereign, but it's also a matter of William just won't work. He won't work. And then he's making these huge statements about what kind of king he's going to be. Now, I ask you, if you were Charles, and let's say you were being treated for cancer, who knows how much time he has? I hope it's a long time. But you're being treated for cancer. What would be more, for lack of a better word, possibly life shortening? The son that's 5,000 miles away, or the one that's just down the road who refuses to see you and undermines you every opportunity he gets, and even publicly shares that when he gets to be king, XYZ? Or riddle me this. Why were there so many magazines that said ready to rule, ready to be king and queen, Queen Catherine, King William the whatever? It seemed like every other month, every other week. I say with the blessing of Kensington Palace, it seemed like they were doing a power play before Queen Elizabeth died. That wasn't Harry. That was coming out of Kensington Palace. Charles hadn't even had an opportunity to be king, and they spent many an hour leaking information, briefing, to get these newspapers and magazines, mostly magazines like Us and such, declaring Will and Kate are already going to be king and queen before Charles. I really do think the two of them did that on purpose. In the unlikely event that they could get Charles to abdicate, I really do believe that that's what they were expecting. It was too frequent. I got a bunch of them too. Well, I'm not going to dig for it right now, but I got a bunch of them. It was a constant. Now it doesn't happen anymore. Now, either that was Will and Kate, combination Will and Kate, and that Carol Middleton. And I tell you, the reason why I believe that Carol allegedly had something to do with that, trying to push this thing on the throne, because Carol Middleton is old and aging rapidly. And she was probably afraid that Charles would live to about 90 something. And who knows, he still might. But she was probably afraid that Charles would live to about 90 and she may never see her daughter walk down the aisle of Westminster Abbey. Now, I still believe, I believed it before, I believe it now, that if anyone had a vested interest in trying to coerce Charles off that throne, or away from that throne, it would be this one. This one. To me, it's the only person that I could think of that would conspire, allegedly, with William, with Silent Kate. That's what I believe. Oh my goodness. I just noticed that I've been on here for 2 hours and 22 minutes. Let me push through the rest of these. What the hell am I talking about? Okay, you got to go, girl. All right. Princess Kate and Prince William skipped King Charles' royal Christmas lunch back in December 2023 before Kate's abdominal surgery. As usual, Will and Kate decided there was something they didn't want to do. So they went on vacation. They totally skipped the Christmas lunch. This is one of the reasons why there's bad blood between the two households. William decides to skip BAFTA. William decides to skip the Christmas thing. He skips whatever he wants to. And there is no backlash because Rebecca English rushes in to protect him, even if she has to make up something. This is fine. Rebecca English will even go down in flames for their benefit, as you can see from this illustration someone made. I thought this was kind of funny, but yeah, this is fine. No problem. This is fine. So long as I can protect you from yourselves, this is fine. Why William is doubling down on his rift with brother? Because Kensington Palace is embarrassed that William was left out of the whole planning to meet Harry, and in order to make himself feel strong and appear more, strong in public, they came up with this little cock and bull thing to make it seem like William has his eye on it and that he's gonna tell his father a thing or two. What's eating William? So when that didn't work, then A.N. Wilson tried the sympathy card. Well, that didn't work. A lot of people commented about that. How could he be having a bad year and he's had 7 vacations within the first few months of the year and such? How could he feel bad when he has a staff and this and that? It was an attempt to drum up sympathy for him like they did with Kate. And most people, I looked at the comments. And these were not Sussex friendly people. They were not having it. They were livid with this attempt for sympathy. They were livid. Miriam Gums, good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry if I'm being a bit long-winded tonight. Diane Hawkins. The Not My King post say they'd better all sit down and shut up and leveling up to more monarchy nonsense. Chaz might even get snatched. Oh, well, Charles has round-the-clock security. If you recall that incident when Camilla decided to take the tube, I think she was out with her grandkids and she decided to take the tube. And when somebody was trying to get fresh with her, she just hauled off and kicked them to kingdom come. Now, as you can see, Camilla was uninjured, but that poor bloke that tried to, get fresh with her, well, I'm pretty sure that he's got some titanium where his jawbone used to be. Yeah, he's probably got some titanium where his jawbone used to be. Okay. The British press turning on Prince William. Is the British press turning on Prince William? Yes, they have. I believe it's temporary, but again, I believe that Clarence House, Buckingham Palace, Clarence House, I believe they're trying to shame him into working. And I do believe it has been effective. Two things. Number one, you need to work because we need money. Number two, if you are moving to Forest Lodge outside of the ring of security that already exists on the grounds of the Windsor Castle estate, then you are marching away from royal court, and that there is going to be fewer opportunities to see you and Kate and the kids. They are isolating themselves like they're in the middle of the global pandemic. And I believe the media was resentful and trying to remind them that you do not get to say, I don't want to be bothered. I want my privacy. You don't get to say that. What is that, Legs? They said something we pay or something like that. Anyway, the spirit of it is when we want you to take a picture, you take a picture. If we say dance, you dance. If we pull your chain, you better bark. Yes, earn their keep. Thank you, Sharon Rollins. They need to earn their keep. So, what is that? Something. Oh, you know what? I can't see it on my screen. Oh, you know what? The numbers moved back over to the other side. I told you the screen changed itself. Oh, revealed what Prince Andrew said. Oh, yeah, this is all the Andrew. Well, actually, it's not all of it, just the Daily Mail headlines trying to cover for William. So, William in that frosty exchange with at Duchess of Kent's funeral. Okay, so they wasn't satisfied with that. They want to gaslight people into believing that William did not talk to Andrew, or at the very least that he was uncomfortable. See there? Second by second, Prince Andrew's ill-judged royal appearance. That didn't work. Okay, well, how about this? Smug-looking Prince Andrew and uncomfortable William had a very frosty exchange after the Duchess of Kent's funeral. Body language expert reveals. Now, these photos do not show William laughing, but I'm telling you, William cracked a smile or two. He was not as frosty as they would lead you to believe. I know because I have the receipts. I have the receipts. Oh, Lord, where did it go? Okay, here it comes. Come on, it's loading. Okay, it's loading. Wow, this is going to be a 3-hour night, you guys. I did not mean for that to happen.
happened during the service. We can see William and Catherine just standing.
So, this is when Catherine points to him and says, "There's the camera. You better get away from him. Move, inch away." Then he take a big step like his drawers ain't fitting right. Watch. That's what you do when your drawers is not fitting right. When your drawers kind of catch you out, you take that big awkward step. Yeah, you take that big awkward step when your drawers are uncomfortable. That's what he did. And there's Catherine trying to whisper. The thing is, you can barely understand her when she try to talk. How you gonna whisper? How you gonna whisper? We can't understand you when you talking. So don't even look at there. See there? Now she's so silly. She was supposed to stay there to play it off. Y'all can't both have the wrong drawers on. See what I'm saying? She's so silly. It's one thing if one of y'all pretend like you got the wrong drawers on, but both of y'all can't do that. Then it looks suspicious. See how the guy back there got his arms folded? He probably thinking, he ain't got the wrong drawers on. They just don't want to be by Andrew. Oh, what a couple of amateurs. What the hell am I talking about? What am I talking about? I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, it'd be different if I knew what I was talking about, but I promise you I don't. It's all a blur to me at this point. Baby, my heart is full of love and desire for you. Well, come on and keep doing what you got to do. Okay, here's the other one. See, he almost laughed, crack a little smile. See how he's nodding his head? He wants to laugh. There he goes. He nods his head in agreement. He nods his head in agreement. And they are trying to gaslight us into believing that he's so uncomfortable. That he's so uncomfortable. Andrew also walked off and left Fergie. She was talking and he tried to gather her. The Gloucesters in the corner gossiping was funny. Hazel, you know, I still ain't watched that video. I've got to watch that video because I know I'm missing it. And Kate can't ever relax. Her shoulders are always so tense. Yeah, she do walk around like she still got the hanger in her jacket. Oh, well. William's fury at Prince Andrew funeral ambush told by friends to royal biographer Andrew Lawney. Personal feud over Kate and what really happened. An awkward encounter revealed. You know what happened? Nothing. Andrew was talking, William laughed, and Kate could not understand the conversation. End of. Oh, yeah, that's the sympathy card. There's a sinister, yeah, we talked about that this week. Harry's, oh, yeah. So look at this. Richard Eden, on one occasion, he says that Harry's confidant predicts he and brother William will embrace soon. So you're promoting that last week. And then this week, there's a sinister establishment plot to undermine Prince William and Kate and bring Harry back and Meghan. I refuse to be part of it. And today I'm exposing what's going on. Ain't nothing going on. This is all phony. That's made up. Richard Eden got bills to pay. Okay. The Gloucester daughter-in-law on the side of the on the side of the screen. Gloucester daughter-in-law. Oh, in the blue, right? She's wearing that blue. And look at Fergie back there just laughing. She don't know that she's about to be the talk of the town. Oh my God, poor Fergie and what's his name? Andrew, the sick old man. Okay, all right. Let's go on. Prince Harry's lively UK tour is William's worst nightmare. That's another Tom Sykes article. King Charles is getting tired of self-righteous Prince William amid royal family feud, as he longs to re-embrace Harry, royal biographer. Okay, so that's the Tina Brown thing. Highly respected author Tina Brown, who was friends. Oh gosh, I'm not even going to say that part. Anyway, Tina Brown is of the opinion that Charles is tired of William. This is a massive campaign to get William to work and for him to give up this idea of being more private. Now, don't that just send a shiver down your spine? William on the right side there, that is William in the carriage at Royal Ascot. He did not crack a smile that I know of the whole time he was riding with his father and Camilla. Not one bit. Yep, just as devious, angry, brooding. Royal courage inside the king's private battle and what it means for William. It means do not walk down the steps ahead of William. Have him walk first. Don't worry about protocol. Oh, not my king. Not my king. Not my king. Not my king. Down with the crown. Not my king. Okay, you guys, we're almost done. I'm fixing to wrap it up. When the night has come and your beard is light. Oh, look at there. Amor. Now that is a very sweet photo. It was around this time when William decided he's going to grow a beard. Everybody that works for him has a beard. Everybody. That is mandatory. Gentlemen must have a beard. And now William has one. Just one big happy family. This is when they were getting along, bosom buddies and all. Well, those days have long since passed. Some people talk about you because they lost the privilege to talk to you. Okay? I got two more and then we're done, you guys. When you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Let that sit with you for a minute. When you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Last, it's a privilege to educate yourself about racism instead of experiencing it. Yeah, if you get a chance to educate yourself, Stassi Schroeder, then that means that you're not going through it yourself. Yeah. So anyway, that's it, you guys. Those are my 3 privileges. I'm going to leave them up here for a second in case you want to do a screenshot of number 1, in case you want to remember those. Of number 2. Okay, and number 3. And with that, you all, thank you so much. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this. Oh, I got one more, don't I? White privilege is when the whole system bends over backwards to defend a white president who openly colludes with a foreign power that is actively trying to attack American institutions, while declaring a black president a traitor for trying to provide affordable health care. Ain't that deep? The one who gave us affordable health care, the one who I would say likely saved the lives of millions by risking his reelection, compared to the president who threatened to dismantle it and did not have anything viable to replace it with. So, for everything that people criticize Obama for, there's one thing that a lot of us Americans should be grateful, and that is the Affordable Care Act. That they can't push people away with pre-existing conditions and such, giving your loved one a fighting chance of survival. In some cases, a fighting chance. But, well, we got this new president and hospitals are closing, adding another half hour or so to an emergency. It's not fair. Okay, love you guys. I will see you all next time. Thank you, everyone. If you are a new subscriber, thank you. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? And remember, memberships start at the lofty price of just $4.99. That's how much you pay for a cup of coffee. That's how much you'll pay for your Starbucks. Well, at least give up one Starbucks for Royal Sussex every month. That's all we ask. And we will proudly bring you the best coverage of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Okay, we'll give you some coverage. I ain't gonna say it's the best, but it's okay. I think Petal's coverage of the Sussexes were far superior, but we try. We try. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna make that thing, Lydia. I totally forgot about the vote, but I'm gonna make that thing for the vote. I am. I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna make something for the vote. I had fun tonight. But yeah, it will be a lot of fun when I can get legs back on here again. Always a pleasure. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping at my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Been snooping at my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna want you no more. You said you were high class. Oh, man. Doesn't that want you? I mean, doesn't this make you think, gosh, I got to hold up a mirror and see if it fogs? But then that's scary because what if there's no reflection? So then you say, well, let me get a spoon. I better hold up a spoon and see if the spoon fogs. Well, that's no good because that dragon breath might melt the spoon. Let's just assume that it will live for 1,000 years and 1,000 more after that. I mean, it's been around for so long. We're not sure what it is, but it's been around for a while. But never more useful than the advent of the soda bottle or the beer bottle top. Now she has a purpose. Now she stands in her purpose. TB, thank you for being here. Thank you, Sharon Rollins, TMCD. Cookies and cream, always a pleasure. A pleasure, I'm sure. Charmed, a pleasure, charmed. Stars, they come and go when they're alone in the sky. The War of the Windsors. Oh, thank you so much for voting. Every vote counts. And in Chicago, trust me, we vote often and we vote early. Or is it vote early and vote often? We vote for our cats, dogs, people missing in action from World War II. We vote for everybody. Oh, you're quite welcome, TB. Oh, thank you, Lydia Washington. Let me post that at the top. Here's the link so that you all can vote for the Duchess of Sussex. Okay. Okay, you guys, that's it for tonight. I will see you all next time. Sheila Dewey, I didn't know you were here. Well, hello, Dewey. Well, hello, Dewey. It's so nice to see you here where you belong. You're looking swell, Dewey. What the hell, Dewey? Okay, y'all know it's time for me to go when I can't make up a good song. Sometimes I crank them out, and then other times I have to think. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Sheila. I'm glad you enjoyed the song. Thank you, TP. All right, let's call it a night. This is it. This is it. Make no mistake anymore. This is it. Your back's to the corner. This is it.